Jaya Rukmini Dwakadish, Rukmini Dwakadish, Rukmini Dwakadish, Rukmini Dwakadish. Jaya Rukmini Dwakadish, Rukmini Dwakadish, Rukmini Dwakadish, Rukmini Dwakadish. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pravijikacharya Satrata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. ISKCON BBT Founder Charges Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pravijikacharya Satrata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Kori Vaishnava Brinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Sil Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Premsika Ho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gogopina Shamakunarikun Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dhamma Ki Jai. Sri Mayapur Navadip Dhamma Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dhamma Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Srimati Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtana Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru Angaranga Jai Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, text number 37. Tam ayam manyate loko hi asangam api sanginam atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha tam ayam manyate loko yasangam api sanginam atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha tam ayam manyate loko Hyasangam api sanginam atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha tamayam manyate loko hyasangam api sanginam atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha. Atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha tam ayam manyate loko yasangam api sanginam Atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha tam ayam manyate loko yasangam api sanginam Atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha manite loko yasangam api sanginam Atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha tam ayam manyate loko hyasangam api sanginam Atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha tam ayam manyate loko hyasangam api sanginam Atmaupam yena manujam Mataji's Mamyayam manyate loko yasangam api sanginam Atmaupam yena manujam Atsamyam yato buddha yam manyate loko yasangam api sanginam Atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinanam yato buddha tamayam manyate loko yasangam api sanginam Atmaupam yena manujam vyaprinvanam yato buddha. Word for word meaning. Tam unto Lord Krishna. Ayam, all these common men. Manyate, do speculate within the mind. Lokaha, the conditioned souls. He, certainly. Asangam, unattached. Api, in spite of. Sanginam, affected. Atma, self. Aupamyena, by comparison with the self. Manujam, ordinary man. Vyaprinvanam, being engaged in. Yataha, because. Abuddha, foolish because of ignorance. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The common man, materialistic conditioned souls speculate that the Lord is one of them. Out of their ignorance, they think that the Lord is affected by matter, although He is unattached. Please repeat. The common materialistic conditioned souls speculate that the Lord is one of them. Out of their ignorance, they think that the Lord is affected by matter, although He is unattached. Purport. The word Abuddha is significant here. Due to ignorance only, the foolish, mundane wranglers misunderstand the Supreme Lord and spread their foolish imaginations amongst innocent persons by propaganda. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is the original primeval personality of Godhead, and when he was personally present before the eyes of everyone, he displayed full-fledged divine potency in every field of activities. As we have already explained in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is completely independent to act however he likes, but all his actions are full of bliss, knowledge, and eternity. Only the foolish mundaners misunderstand him, unaware of his eternal form of knowledge and bliss, which is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. His different potencies work in a perfect plan of natural sequence and doing everything by the agency of his different potencies. He remains eternally the supreme independent. When he descends on the material world by his causeless mercy to different living beings, he does so by his own potency. He is not subject to any condition of the material modes of nature, and he descends as he is originally. The mental speculators misunderstand him as a supreme person, and they consider his impersonal features as inexplicable Brahman to be all. Such conception is also the product of conditioned life, because they cannot go beyond their own personal capacity. Therefore, one who considers the Lord on the level of one's limited potency is only a common man. Such a man cannot be convinced that the personality of Godhead is always unaffected by the modes of material nature. He cannot understand that the sun is always unaffected by infectious matter. The mental speculators compare everything from the standpoint of experimental knowledge of their own selves. Thus, when the Lord is found to act like an ordinary person in matrimonial bondage, they consider him to be like one of them, without considering that the Lord can at once marry 16,000 wives or more. Due to a poor fund of knowledge, they accept one side of the picture while disbelieving the other. This means that due to ignorance only, they always think of Lord Krishna as like themselves and make their own conclusions, which are absurd and unauthentic from the version of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalaka Chakshumintam Jim Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Vanchakalpatuvisa Kripasinavita Paritana Pabanivya Vaishnavya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. I was thinking this morning, I haven't been sitting on this chair for a long time. I think I'm really out of practice. Anyway, this purport is full of nectar, of course. And Srila Prabhupada describes so many amazing things here. But he does express one particular word. A Buddha is, he says, very significant, due to ignorance only. These foolish, mundane wranglers misunderstand the Supreme Lord. And they spread foolish imagination. So we see that that is going on always throughout the whole world. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains such individuals. He says, Namam duskritina mudha papajante naradama mamaya pritagyana asuram bhavam asritaha. It's a very powerful verse that really describes all these individuals who are so much absorbed in their own minds and bodies that they think Krishna is like them. And it's described that those miscreants who are grossly foolish and lowest among mankind, and whose knowledge is stolen by the illusion, this is amazing, by illusion, partake of atheistic nature of demons. These individuals, they cannot surrender to Krishna. It's not possible. So, duskritino, a miscreant, Prabhupada says that these miscreants, they're very intelligent. As we can see, they're very intelligent because of their misinterpretation and lack of knowledge. They use their brain on how to oppose the plan of Krishna. You can see that they're doing that constantly. They're making so many adjustments, so many plans to exclude the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I know many years ago, I used to like this example that Srila Prabhupada used about how if someone wants something made, they hire a person. Like if you want to make for instance, like we're doing the Pujari room there. And if we have somebody that's making, not that Shirag is this, don't, but if we make this big project and we're making this beautiful Pujari room. And as the person's making this Pujari room, they're thinking, oh, I'm so great. I'm so expert. Look at how beautiful all these things that I'm doing are. How gorgeous of an arrangement I'm making. And then, although I give that person the money, I give him all the facility, I support him fully. At the end of the project, he says, look I made this, it's mine. You have nothing to do with this anymore. I made it, I want it, it's mine. And that's the nature of miscreants in this material world. They're not realizing that Krishna is there giving them the intelligence. Sarvasya chaham ridi sanivistamatasmitir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna's in the heart. He's giving them the intelligence how to do this work. Krishna supplies everything. Everything you see in this world is supplied by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gives it to us without charge. He gives us so many opportunities to do wonderful things that become famous, become very knowledgeable, become powerful. So many things Krishna gives us. And in the end, we think, oh, God has nothing to do with this. This is not about Krishna. This is about me and my power and my ability. And these are miscreants, very foolish individuals, miscreants. They want to do all this and they want to exclude Krishna, thinking that I'm that person. So these are grossly foolish individuals. And we see the world is full of it everywhere you go. It kind of reminds me of the leadership of America today. A particular individual that keeps saying, because of me, because of who I am. And everybody's telling him, no, it's because of the previous. No, because of me. I am that individual. I'm all powerful. Don't you understand? So this is the illusion. And this kind of individual cannot surrender to Krishna. Cannot. Krishna doesn't play a part in their life whatsoever. And then, of course, in this particular purport, Prabhupada talks about foolish mundaners who misunderstand him, unaware of his eternal form of knowledge and bliss. Mudha. They're mudhas. And these individuals that are mudhas, they're grossly foolish, and they're like beasts of burden, actually, these mudhas. They work hard, like a beast. Prabhupada gives the example like an ass, a donkey. And what a beautiful example. And every time I would go to India, I'd see this donkey. I was thinking Srila Prabhupada's example. How people, they're like beasts of burden. And they don't even know who they're working for. Like the donkey doesn't have any idea who my master is. They don't even know who this is. They don't really care. They're just worried that the master's going to whip them. So the master always has this whip, and he's always threatening the donkey, and the donkey just keeps moving. It won't stop. It can't even sit and take a nap, because they don't at any minute. So they're trained like that, like a mudha, and they work like an ass. And that's what everybody wants you to do in the material world. Be a mudha. Don't ask questions. Don't argue. When I say move, move. And this is the material world. And we see that they're just there to work And they like to enjoy the fruits. The donkey likes it. As long as you give that donkey some grass, although Papa says that the donkey is so ignorant, doesn't know that grass is on both sides of the street. And you could just go over there and take a nibble and eat, and no problem. But no, because they're mudha, they've bitten into the American dream. Work hard till you foam at the mouth. And then when you foam at the mouth, then you can have whatever you want. So just work hard and be a mudha. And everybody likes that, They think that's really great. And why? Because they get a little bit to eat. They can get a good car. Maybe they can get a home. And they can get a little bit of sex life. Well, what do you want? The mudha mentality. And Papa describes the donkey again there. The donkey is like that kind of an animal where if you've been in India, you've seen this. I've seen this many times. And the donkey is, at the end of the day, the master lets the donkey run free. And he has some freedom. And so he has some freedom. Immediately the donkey's looking for sex. And I've seen it many times where the he donkey wants to have sex, but every time he gets close to the she donkey, she's kicking him. She kicks him right in the face, in the chest, in the belly. But he doesn't stop. He's following her all over the place. And then he tries to have sex with her, and she kicks him right in the face, and he doesn't care. He just keeps going for it. This is a mudha. And we see this is going on in the world. We're being kicked constantly by this desire. And we want this, we want that, but it's how many divorces are there? How many kicks like that do we have? So many divorces. Unwanted children. Just because of this mudha mentality of wanting to just enjoy. Work hard till you foam, make money, and have so much fun, so-called. And the real downside of a mudha is they don't even know who they're working for, have no idea about karma. You try to talk to a mudha out there. Those of you that are book distributors, you've approached a mudha and tell them, what about karma? They go, what? What is this karma? Just forget that stuff. I don't believe in karma. And they don't. And what about yajna? You're doing some sacrifice for Krishna, for God. No way. I'm out here to get what I want. I'm not going to, what do I want to sacrifice for Krishna, for God for? It doesn't play in their particular realm of understanding life. And another thing that Prabhupada said was that, like the donkey, they sing a lot of poetry, a lot of philosophy with their brain. Have you ever heard a donkey? Those of you that have been to India, have you ever heard a donkey braying? It's so, it causes nothing but disturbance. It's that you can't even handle it. It's so disgusting. And he's sitting there for 5, 10, 15 minutes just crying and crying, singing some poetry or philosophy or something, and trying to attract. But they're actually distracting. And we see in the world today, that's what's going on. How many I love you songs have you heard? And you see in rap music, what are they talking about? Get him, bang, 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 this thing, that thing. It's like, oh my God. All this philosophical so-called braying, it's like a braying of a donkey. It creates, just so much distress to hear it, to associate with it. And mudha. And Prabhupada's very strong about that, of course. And this is why Krishna consciousness is so extremely important. We can't stress the importance of this movement, how to get rid of mudhas, the mudha mentality, not get rid of them, but get rid of the mudha mentality and get them to understand the real purpose of life. It's very difficult. It's a thankless task, in fact. And we see great souls like Srila Prabhupada come. They know. Can you imagine how Srila Prabhupada must have felt seeing all the people they had to deal with? And how ignorant they were, or still are, had no conception of humanity, just practically speaking like animals. So, Mayaya Pritagyana. So, these individuals, they're intellectuals, philosophers, intellectuals, scientists, and they're very smart. Actually, they're very, very smart. But Srila Prabhupada says that even though the Shastra clearly delineates who Krishna is and what Krishna does, they still just don't even want to hear it. They just reject it. They don't want to hear any clarity like that. And these people, they're demoniac. And they think that Krishna is just an ordinary person, as Srila Prabhupada describes in his purport. Although smart, they're very dumb because they don't want to accept any kind of authority, any kind of shastra, because they think they're authority. They think they're very intelligent. They know everything, and they'll find out. And of course, that is crazy because they don't. Strotriyam Brahmanishtam. We can only understand who we are and what the purpose of this world is by approaching or hearing from a pure devotee of the Lord. There's no other way. We have to approach that individual who's a self-realized soul, who can tell us what is the purpose of life in order to eradicate this Maya Prita Jnana, Asuram. It's this crazy demoniac mentality. Because the Vedas is about Shruti. It's hearing. The ears are the most important part of our body and our existence. Because Prabhupada said you can be sleeping, and if someone comes in to kill you, if you hear them, you'll wake up. So Shruti, the Vedas are actually Shruti. They're meant to be heard. We have to hear through the ear. And just like, when we meet a devotee for the first time and he gives us a book, we hear, oh, this thing, that thing, oh. We become immediately, attracted. We think, oh, this is very nice. What is this? Let me hear. And then we actually get attracted. So that hearing, this is the whole basis of the Vedic knowledge, to hear it from a self-realized soul. And hearing it from a self-realized soul, it awakens within us this spiritual feeling, this urge for spiritual understanding. And this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted us to be able to do. He wanted us to be able to read these books, to understand these books, and then give this knowledge to people, to wake up these mudhas and these atheistic individuals, asturam bhavam, asitaha, atheistic people. They're just completely, they don't believe in God. They don't want to hear about God. And so they just go on with their life in a materialistic way, completely absorbed on the bodily platform of life. And how to wake them up? By speaking about the Vedas, by studying Srila Prabhupada's books, by teaching them that who we are, what is our condition, ichadvesa samutena, dvanda mohena bharata, sarvabhutani sammoham, sargayanti parantapa. It's described in the Gita that, O skyna bharata, O conqueror of foes, all living entities, every living entity is born into delusion. Yes, we're all in delusion, and we have to fight with the dualities of desire and hate. This is what the world is composed of. So much desire for sense gratification, for power. Everybody wants it. Wealth. They want it. The desire is extremely powerful. And then from that comes hate. And after we hate our enemies, we may even hate our family members. And these things are all based on this delusion that we're this material body, that this is our existence. Srila Prabhupada describes so many times that the body is simply just it's just a shell, or it's just an outer garment, so to speak. And the real you is the soul. The real me is the soul within this body. And we see that if we study these books, Srila Prabhupada's books, the Srimad Bhagavatam, if we hear it regularly, uh, on a daily basis, nityam, always, regularly, we should hear regularly this science of Krishna consciousness. And if we do, then we can actually become freed from this bodily consciousness of life and get rid of this desire and hate. So hard to fight desire. We desire so many things. It's so difficult to fight it. It sneaks up upon us on a regular basis. I want this, I want that. Always it's coming. We're fighting this every single day. We can be just sitting very innocently chanting, and in the mind immediately pops in something. Oh wow, I'd really like to have that. Oh man, that would be really cool if I had that. So these desires are constantly popping into our minds. And the only way we can alleviate these things is actually by Krishna Katha. Of course, Krishna, then Katha means speaking about Krishna, and then hearing about Krishna. This is the essential thing. So that's why we have Bhagavatam class, to hear Krishna Katha, and how important it is to have Krishna Katha. If you read these books, then we have something to talk about. We can read about Krishna Katha. You know, you can read the newspaper and you could talk that kind of Katha. That's, you know, everyone's doing that. Constantly, the whole world is absorbed in that type of nonsense talk. So for us, reading is essential. We must read Srila Prabhupada's books on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we must hear this Krishna conscious philosophy. We can't miss a day. It's like we don't miss a day to eat, right? You don't. If you do, you're really, oh my God. Like if Janmashtami comes, you're just sweating it for a week before. If not 2 weeks before, you're just sweating it. You're oh my God, I can't eat the whole day. What am I going to do? You strategize. You think, well, I'm going to do like this. I'm going to do like that. I'm not going to do what I did last year. I really blew it last year. I'm going to be smart this year. So we strategize just so we can't eat one day. What are we doing for the soul? Prabhupada gives the example of the lady with a bird in a cage. Every day she would get up very nicely. She'd go to the bird cage. She'd take the bird out, and she would clean the cage so beautifully. Shine it, clean it out, and then put the bird back in. But what she forgot to do is feed the bird. And the bird died. So here we are. We have a shell. This is our cage. This is the cage. We're in this cage. The soul is in this cage. If every day we're strategizing, thinking how we're going to do, what are we going to do for this cage? Ourself or externally even? Are we always going to be externally thinking that too? So if we're so, you know that I know that at the minute you get up in a day, you're thinking about this cage, aren't you? If you're not, I can tell you I am. You know, sometimes I get up in the morning and this cage is rattling, literally. You know, you just can't move it. It's stiff, it's sore. And I take so many precautions. Oh boy, I'm going to be really precautious today. We're so delicate with the cage. But what about the soul? What are we doing about the soul within that cage? Are we giving it the same attention? Are we really absorbing ourselves in Krishna Katha so that we don't become a mudha? It's so easy to become a mudha. It's just right around the corner. It's not hard. So we should give that attention to the soul. And this attention is given, if we give it through Krishna Katha, about Krishna, then we can see that we'll achieve the goal of life. The goal of life, nate vidu svartagatim. Yes, Vishnum. Yes, the goal of life is to understand Vishnu, Krishna. That is the goal of life. That's why we're here in this particular Krishna consciousness movement, here today all together. What is our goal? Every day we should remind ourselves. And when I was reading this purport, it reminded me how it's so important for me to read and to really understand this philosophy. Because if we understand it, then we'll act on it. We'll act properly. And there won't be no one will have to tell us. It's not like, we should be expecting someone to be constantly reminding us. Although that's nice. It's actually very good. It's encouraging. But we should become responsible like that, to know the importance of this science of Krishna consciousness, so that we can discriminate. We have to know who these mudhas are, and these atheists, the asuric, the demons. We have to know who they are. We won't know who they are if we don't study Srila Prabhupada's books and speak about it, because otherwise we get very confused. Oh, my family members, they love me. They have nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. How much do they love you? I don't know, We should be very cautious. We don't know. If they're not in Krishna consciousness, what do they know? They only know the body. That's all they know. Beyond that, they have no conception, no understanding. We should be careful who our association is. If we're not careful with our association, we can be dragged down very easy. It's so easy to be dragged down. Because you have all these, these intellectuals, these cretinos, miscreants, Mayaya Pritagyana, these jnanis. You may think, oh boy, this guy's really intelligent, or this woman's really, intellectual, and she knows so much, and she blah, 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 and there's so much this and that. But what do they know about Krishna? What do they really know about Krishna? That's really the essence here. So we ourselves should be very cautious who we associate with and how we associate. Very, very important for our advancement in Krishna consciousness, not to take that seriously. And it doesn't mean that you're mean or that you hate them. No, we don't mean that. We teach them. We try to help them. We give them. So, as there's a campaign, be a giver for this month of December and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. Give someone a Bhagavad Gita. Give them something that they can advance, they can elevate, uplift their consciousness to a level where they really can see the fruitality of this material existence if Krishna is not involved, if Krishna is not there in the arrangement, in the association like that. So, I have a lot more to say, but I can't. I have to stop because we're all interested in the next aspect of life. It takes some prashadam. So, all right. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.